Just starting our big chompy bird hunting quest, another prerequisite for our Barrows gloves. This is new. There always used to be a big oak tree here. You had to run all the way around east and then south and up here. Now you can access it from the west hand side. This is amazing quality of life, absolutely fantastic. And it feels like the click box for this has become a little bit bigger too, because I always found that I was clicking and missing and going all around it, but now it seems like it's a little bit better. Such a good update there, Jagex. Good stuff. Well done. And there's our King's Messenger interrupting us as we are going through this. This is for our next quest after the Underground Pass. I believe it's Regicide or one of those similar ones. Not too sure. Anyway, we'll read the message. Go back to Kandarin. Well, a voyage has been reopened. Ivan's back. He's an asshole. There we go. Drop it. We're going to do that later. Don't have to do it right now. Well, that's 2 toads that have despawned already. Let's hope that we don't get hit by another one here. And there's the big chompy bird hunting quest completed. I think we'll get some levels out of this. 28 fletching. Well, that's all there is to it, but that's not too bad. 1037 total level. Another few quest points down as well. 138 out of the 175 that we need. Let's keep going. No time like the present to upgrade some of our sapphire necklaces into games necklaces and increase the amount of teleports that we have around the game. 8 charges per. We've got about 26 of them from our ham storerooms. This will be a nice wee addition to our bank. I can almost guarantee that these rings of recoil will be very useful later on as well, so we might as well upgrade these while we're at it. We've got plenty of cosmic runes from our lovely rune crafting grind that we did earlier. Time to start Alfred Grimhand's bar crawl, a prerequisite for the Horror from the Deep quest. And there we go, that's the completion of Alfred's Grimhand's bar crawl. So even though we've got decent melee weapons, of course, with our dragon scimitar, and our strength is not great, but it's okay. It's adequate. I've decided just to go for a pure mage build here for this Dagon Mother. Of course, we have to attack with different styles depending on what color she is. That should be no problem whatsoever. But hopefully it doesn't result in too much of an issue for us. Of course, we do have our Wizard's Mind Bomb so that we can get access to our final level Fire Blast spell. And that's the Dagonoth Mother completed, and the completion of our Horror from the Deep quest. Decent bit of experience, maybe in a range level in it, let's see. 38 ranged, not too bad. I don't know that I've ever been able to use Crumble Undead against Nazar Starul, but it's working a treat here, absolutely love it. Thank you very much, Wiki, for the suggestion. Probably beats out our Earth Blast any day of the week, and it's a slightly cheaper spell to use. Save those Death Runes for our Ivan's Blast. And third phase to deal with now, and then we should be pretty much done with Shiloh Village. And there we have the completion of Shiloh Village. 4,000 crafting experience, and access to Shiloh Village as well, not too bad, 45 crafting, and it also means our Maple Birdhouse is a great one to achieve, and also of course we need a few more quest points, so let's keep working towards that. Next up we have the Traeus Daith fight. I know it's quite difficult, but thankfully we do have protection prayers now, which should help. We've got a decent amount of run energy. We've also got some priest robes. Also, of course, our damage book, which should help with a bit of prayer, a little bit of extra prayer bonus from all of this stuff, showing up that we have currently plus 13. That should allow it to last a little bit longer. Let's see if the food that we've got is enough as well. And there's the death. Okay, we tried to risk it, didn't pay off. We're gonna have to go back and pick up our stuff. That's a rough one. At least we can teleport straight back to just outside the Haunted Mine. Although, do we need the thing again? I'm not too sure. Oh no. Thankfully my grave is here. I was a little bit concerned that it wouldn't appear, and it wasn't giving me any indication on Rudelight, so let's loot everything that we can in here. And we're going to take another attempt, as we do have a whole bunch of food here, a lot of salmon with us. Maybe that's going to be enough to get us across the line. Let's see. Getting close once more. Really would like to see the kill here. Otherwise we might have to go back to the drawing board a wee bit. We're getting close though, close. Don't run past everything. Last bit of food, we're not going to risk it quite as much as we did last time. I think we have to kill you now, otherwise we lose it. Okay, there we go. Managed to get it right at the very end. No food left. I saw that the strategy guide actually suggested that we wear our best defensive armor, so I should have been wearing my rune. That would have made it a lot easier. But regardless, we managed to make it through. And good as gold. We should be able to access our crystal, get our salve amulet. Here we have the completion of our Haunted Mine. 22,000 strength experience, a pretty huge one for us. 47 strength. That's going to help us with our melee training a great deal to try and get our skills, our stats a little bit more equal with our melee side of things. But also, we're going to chop a whole bunch more of these, collect a whole bunch for later on, and then we've got a whole bunch of salve amulets saved up, and we can make our first one right now. We can also take on Tarn Razorlaw later on to get our enhanced version, but we don't need it just now, so let's not worry about it. And here we have the completion of Eagle's Peak. Not really a necessary quest, at least not that I'm aware of, but 2,500 Hunter experience, not too bad. We get 33 Hunter, also a pretty great level. I think we got a level or two there out of that one. But more importantly, more quest points, getting ever close to that 175. You know, if I get a little bit too bored of this, then I might, of course, just say screw it and we'll just partially complete it, get to our Myth or our Addy Gloves or something in between. But we would love to get to those barrows, of course. But, you know, just like beforehand, I was a little bit sick of doing my skilling. I'm now a little bit sick of questing, so now we go back to a bit more skilling. We've got a few more things to go for, so we could do some cooking or some other ones. I'm not too sure yet, but you'll see it in the next clip anyway, so hold tight. Back at our Hasidius range, there's 56 cooking coming in, and there's 57 cooking coming in, there's 58 cooking coming in, 59 cooking coming in. Good experience, not quite as efficient as we usually would be, but I am also, I just got finished editing a video, one of our Old School Runescape videos, and are currently rendering it, so, you know, got a good bit of experience there, about 70 or 80k experience in this one trip as I was going through that, you know, just shy of maybe about an hour of editing, so it takes a wee while cutting it, trimming it. Let me know what you think about the editing as well there, if there's things I could do to improve it, always open to suggestions. 60 cooking coming in. We can now cook curries, mushroom pies, a few other goodies, but more importantly, we're getting close towards the end of our fishing goal. 3,000 cooked trout so far, 500 more to do, 2,000 more raw salmon. This will be great food for Slayer and just general questing. Not so great for our bosses, of course, but that's when we'll hopefully have some better food sources, I should say. From here though, time to take another break. Don't really feel like doing any more cooking, so let's switch it up to some other skills or even some more quests. And here we have the completion of Tale of the Righteous. I do love some of these quests here. They're very good from a lore perspective. Quite entertaining to play. Of course, I'm skipping through them a wee bit because I already know the backstory and I've played it beforehand. But if it is your first time playing Old School Runescape, I would highly recommend take your time, enjoy it, enjoy the experience, enjoy the level ups. You know, don't look for the most efficient way of going about things. Just have fun. Take it however you enjoy it. And don't rush through things, you know, read some of the dialogue, learn about the background, learn about the story. There's a lot of content to it, and some of it's honestly done very well. You know, there's a good mix of comedy and seriousness, so just give it a go, just enjoy it, just have fun. Just doing a bit of a semi-time gated quest here, so what we need to get is 20% Loverkenge favor. That allows us to complete the Forsaken Tower quest, which should be nice and easy. However, to do so we need to create some dynamite. Now we very fortunately have quite a bit of leftover saltpeter from when we were doing our Hasidius favor, and that's part of the required items for our dynamite. What we otherwise need is some charcoal, and this is special charcoal that we make in these furnaces here. It takes about 16 hours to make, so I'm just going to fill these both up. That should give me plenty to use later on. It is very much more than I need, but could be very useful later on if I decide to do some blast furnace mining. It's the same dynamite used there. And yeah, we'll see how we go, but this is just a nice little interim thing to get done while we're over here. We can't really do any of the other Kurin quests for now until we get a little bit of extra favor, so 20% for both of these is how we get the next one. I don't know if I can be bothered with that. I think we'll just put the charcoal in, put the juniper logs in, and then move across some other quests that we can complete now. Nice easy quest, long overdue. Doric's quest, speedrun time. Let's start the quest. Actually don't know how to start it here, but there we go, that's that done. And now we talk to him immediately. And that's the quest completed. There we go. You know, the speedrun quest worlds came out recently. I don't know, I'll submit my time there. Not too bad. I think that we could do some more optimization to get that a little bit quicker, but hey, there's 1300 mining experience. Pretty happy with that. That gives us a mining level up to 48, which also gives us 1050 total with about 3 million experience gained so far. So our stats are climbing pretty thick and fast. We've still got some very quick levels that we can get in the form of our hunter, in the form of our slayer as well. Herblore, I guess, once we get the experience for it, and of course farming once we start planting some trees. But yeah, quick levels, I guess now that I say that again and re-look through everything, less and less the case that we can get quick levels anymore. So now our total level is going to be climbing quite a bit slower than it has been in the past. There's the completion of the Corsair Curse, another 2 quest points, bringing us up to 150. 25 left to go. We could probably start with a few of our Recipe for Disaster quests now, as we have a few more to go before we complete them all, but you know, we're also not that far off the Heroes quest either. A few other ones that we have to get done. We have to start off Legends quest and get to a certain point to unlock certain things as well, so there's a bit more to be done, that's for sure. Damn, look at that chest there. Absolute beast. They need to introduce more foods like the steak sandwich. Now that's a meal that I could absolutely eat. Look at that, only 0.2 kilograms. Nice and lightweight as well, as opposed to our trout. You know, who wants to eat a whole entire cooked fish? Not me. Give me a steak sandwich, a few chips any day of the week and I'll be a happy lad there. Give us a chance, you know, upgrade, maybe later cooking levels rather than just eating raw fish, or not raw fish, a whole cooked fish, you know, some sort of exquisite meal like a full dinner prepared. I don't know. No, this is RuneScape. You guzzle down sharks every 0.6 seconds, so what can I say? It's not exactly true to form, true to life. And there's the completion of Below Ice Mountain. I think this is actually the first time I've ever completed this quest. I did have the quest point cape on my main, but that was before this quest, so there's still a few quests that I have not done on that account, which I'm now completing here. 151 quest points, 2,000 coins as well, and access to the ruins of Camdozel. I'll have to look up what that entails. I've got no idea. I haven't really done any content down there beforehand, obviously, and don't know if there's anything that's useful for our Ironman, but we'll check that out. But in any case, let's just keep going with our questing, with our skilling, and see what we end up doing next. And with Recipe for Disaster just around the corner, why don't we hand in our ingredients for the Cook's Assistant quest, get that one completed, and another quest point for us. Pretty crazy how much of RuneScape, and the quests particularly within it there, rely on giving lots and lots of beers to certain jailers, certain people, just getting them drunk as all hell, and then completing the quests. You know, I'm not making any insinuations, but different times 10 to 15 years ago when these quests were made, I suppose. And there's the completion of Prince Ali Rescue. Free use of the Alcarud tollgate always means that we can head past without needing gold in our inventory, which is nice. A few extra coins, but more importantly, 3 quest points. Actually pretty huge, I didn't realize it was that many. That brings up to 155 quest points with 81 quests completed, well over halfway. Although that's kind of not quite accurate, because of course, similar to how 50 is not halfway to 99, or 49.5 is not quite halfway to 99. It's, again, we've got the difficult Grandmaster, very long quests left to go. We've of course been completing a lot of the easy ones, and that's not going to continue. We just have the Imp Catcher left in our free quest. We're not going to bother with that just yet because I can't be bothered killing imps and relying on RNG. We're just going to continue on with our quests and other skills. Just collecting a few mahogany logs. It's not going to be quick, it's not going to be good experience, but as we can see, 125 experience per log obtained is pretty damn good. We're mostly doing this for a few reasons. We're going to need some mahogany logs for mahogany planks later on. We actually need 1 mahogany plank for one of our quests, Cold War, which is of course part of the Penguin quest line. Yes, that's right, the Penguin quest line, for those who aren't familiar with Old School Runescape. There is such a thing. But beyond that, you know, it's just good to have. We of course need some mahogany logs for birdhouse runs later on down the track as well, so why don't we just grab a few more than we need. And bearing in mind this is my entire cash stack, excuse me, and every single mahogany plank that we make costs 1.5k, so we can make a handful of logs, but that's it. We also need some extra oak planks for that too, so we're going to have to build up our cash stack a wee bit. But thankfully some of the quests that we've been doing have actually been gifting us gold. I think we started here with a couple hundred gold, and now, you know, we've had 2,000 gold, 5,000 gold, 7,000 gold handed out to us as a result of some of these quests, which has brought us back to a relatively healthy 12k. But again, this is our entire cash stack, and we don't really have much in the way of assets that we can liquidate in our bank, so we're going to have to make do with what we've got. Otherwise, we'll have to go back to some agility pyramid or some other money making methods that we can pick up some extra gold for whatever we need. But at least we have our Iban staff, which was recently obtained, so pretty good, pretty happy with how things are going there. And there we have the planks made, taking our cash stack from about 12k down to 3k. Didn't last too long, that's for sure. I made a couple of extra planks just in case we need them. We need 10 oak planks, so we've got a whole bunch extra. I'm sure they'll come in handy later on, but our cash stack is suffering. Another quest that we need to knock out the way is indeed our Heroes quest. Now for Heroes quest we have almost all of the stat requirements. We still need 50 mining. We've completed all the prerequisite quests. the requirements, as we can see up there, we've got the quest points. 50 mining is all that we have left. That's why we're back at our motherlode mine. We shouldn't need to be here too long, of course. The XP per hour is actually pretty decent, and we'll get some good resources out of this. We would consider going, or I would consider going for iron ore for this one, but I decided against it. Yes, it would be a little bit quicker, but I kind of need the coal so that we can get some smithing levels later on, of course. That's what I've decided to do. That's what we're going to stick to. So we'll stay in the motherlode mine until we reach 50 mining, and then we can move across to our heroes quest. 49 mining coming in, just one more to go. About just shy of 10,000 experience, so we should get in about half an hour or thereabouts. There we have 50 mining coming in, our requirement for heroes quest. Let's get some extra little treats here, shall we call it. Next up, of course, we'll just finish off this inventory, collect our things from the sack, and then we will see what our bank is looking like after that. As we can see, not a huge haul, about 74 gold. That will help with our smithing a little bit later on. 280 coal, of course we need to pick up a few more iron ore pieces if we want to be smelting more steel bars, but still respectable. 50 mining, happy to have achieved it. Took us just under an hour, as we can see back here, and now it's time for our heroes quest. Completely forgot again, of course, that we do need some help from a second player, so we've joined a clan chat which should help with that. It is the Shield of Arav grouping chat, useful for both the Shield of Arav and the heroes quest, of course, but we do need a full black set of armor, black full helm, black plate legs, and black chest plate. I think this should be enough cash. We just have to liquidate and alch some of our things in our bank, an adamant full helm and a few of these diamond rings, another piece that we got from the ham storeroom. So let's go for that one. Let's start our quest off. Let's get to it. Now we should be good to go. First, of course, we have to jump around to some of our shops, such as Horvik's armor shop and a few other places, such as the Champions Guild, I believe it is, to pick up our black armor pieces. So let's go and do that now. And upstairs in the Champions Guild, there we have the black full helm and the black plate legs. And at Horvik's shop, in the middle of the rock, here is the black plate body. Not too bad. And also, of course, this armor will be a little bit useful for our eventual foray, eventual path into the, the place, you know what I'm talking about. Here we have the start of the heroes quest. We need to get a few different pieces, of course, helping out from our allies. But to start with, we need to get an oily rod. So we'll head to Port Sarim to start off. First, I'm using our Iron staff. Gonna be quite nice to take this around for some of our questing. It has a huge max civet, I think, around 25, 30, something like that. Look at that, we just basically 3-shot him. The quest guide says I cannot fail cooking a lava eel, but I'm going to take a couple just in case. I don't want to have some other accident happen or need to catch one later on and then, not have one in the bank. So, as per my usual standard there, pick up a few more than you need. That way you'll have some in case it's used for later quests. I actually can't remember, but who knows? Can't hurt, right? Big shout out to Wildcat for being available to help out lots and lots of newbie players and get us done with the heroes quest without having to look for specific people. With Ivan's Blast and Protection Prayers, it should be easy enough to take out the Ice Queen who's hiding underneath all of those Ice Warriors. A little bit of lag hitting me for some reason, no idea why, but we'll get through it. It's not too troublesome, not having to prayer flicker or anything like that. Look at that, 24 nice hits. Surprisingly, that wasn't all that bad. It took less than half an hour. And that should be the completion of the heroes quest. Look at this absolute spam of experience that we get across. 29,000 total across 12 skills. Do we get any levels there? 48 strength, 47 defense, 52 HP, 39 ranged. A little upgraded with that. And 27 herbal and 39 smithing. Pretty much every stat that we get experience in, we got a level up. So we needed 40 smithing for one of our quests, so that's not far off. We can get some Herblore experience with a few other quests like Edgar's Ruse, which I think has a 31 Herblore requirement. Not too sure on that one just yet, we'll figure it out. But we can also access the Heroes Guild. The Heroes Guild is fantastic for a few things. First of all, we can recharge glories and other Dragonstone jewelry down the bottom. We don't have any of that just yet, so we can't do that for the moment. But upstairs, we do have, I think it's Helamos, and he sells us the Dragon Battle Axe. It does cost 200k flat, but that allows us to basically get the effects of a super strength potion, which as we are very shy of being able to make super strengths ourselves, I think that's about 50 odd. 55 for super strength potions. So until we get to that, we can use that, then just use attack potions, which we can make at the moment with our Guam leaves to kind of just boost our attack back up, because it does give us strength at the cost of HP, or at the cost of attack levels, excuse me. But as long as we just boost it up afterwards, then we're absolutely fine. So As always, thank you all very much for watching, great to have you here, and I hope to catch you in the next one.